pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Aidan Hutchinson, defensive end, Michigan.
So the hometown kid is being drafted by the hometown team. The Detroit Lions take one of the most decorated Michigan Wolverine players sent to the next level that we've seen in quite some time. And Aidan Hutchinson is a Detroit Lion.
This team was 31st in the league in third down defense last year. They were 30th in sacks. This is going to change with Aidan Hutchinson. He is a polished professional pass rusher. He can beat you with speed. He can beat you with power. He's going to get a handful of them just purely off of the maniacal effort that he plays with, Charles.
And this is more than just what you're getting with all of that as well. The Detroit Lions continue to talk about their culture, changing their locker room, changing the forces that are there in Detroit. And I get the sense from management there, David Shaw, that this is a management that's willing to work with Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, the GM, build this locker room, build this group. Aidan Hutchinson fits everything you're looking for. And one last thing, he journals all the time. You guys know he writes every night. You think going number 2 when he thought he was going number 1 won't be in his journal as well? Give this guy a little extra motivation.
Yeah, and here's a guy that doesn't need any motivation, but he's got another chip on his shoulder. This guy is violent. He is passionate. He is a game changer. We can't wait to watch him play.
Hey. Brad Holmes, GM of the Detroit Lions. How you doing, man? I'm doing great, man. Hey, ready to be a Lion? All right, man. We're about to pick you right here, man. Hey, you went all the way to Vegas, man. You should have stayed home. You could just caught an Uber over here, man. Hey, man, congratulations, man. I'm happy for you and your family, man. You'll be a big part of what we're doing going forward, all right? Let's disrupt and get after the quarterback, all right? Hey, let me get you on the phone with our head coach, Dan Campbell, all right?
Hutch. Hey, man, congratulations. Listen, your dream just started, man. This isn't the end, this is the beginning. You know what I mean? Come in here and you help us win games. Just be you. And let's turn this ship around. All right, brother. Here, I'm going to pass you to Sheila. Hold on.
Hey, congratulations. This is awesome. Well, we're thrilled. There's a lot of excited people here in this room, and some of my family's here, and everyone's excited. So, great. We're anxious for you to get back to Michigan. Yeah. Good. Awesome. Well, we're really excited. We know you're going to do great things here. So, congratulations.
Hey, congratulations again, man. Enjoy it tonight, all right? All right now. Okay. Yes. That's conviction. That's conviction.
With the second pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Aidan Hutchinson, defensive end, Michigan.
Hey Lions fans, it's me, Barry Sanders. I wish I could be there with you guys in Detroit, but I'm actually in Las Vegas to announce our second round draft pick tomorrow night with my friend and honorary Lion, Keegan-Michael Key. I do want to take this opportunity also to congratulate Aidan Hutchinson. Great job, man, and welcome to the Lions family. Draft day is so exciting, not just for you, but for your family, your friends, your coaches, and everyone in your circle. So great job and welcome. And also, let me congratulate Coach Campbell and also Brad Holmes for putting another piece of that Lions puzzle together. Let's go Lions.
Aidan, wow, I can't believe this just happened. This is what we've always dreamed of. This is where we're at. We've got to this point. This is another step along your awesome journey. Your mom and I could not be happier for the man you've become, the leader you've become, and the legacy you've left for the Hutchinsons.
So here's a card I wrote to you on your 17th birthday, and I've saved it all these years. You saved it in your room too, and I just have to read a little bit of it out loud. It is so important in light of what you have accomplished. And it says, I love the word revelation, because in these years to come, that's exactly what I want you to have, revelations. Whether it be huge successes or even attempts at success, each experience will bring on a host of new discoveries about yourself. and then you keep going. You just keep going. Something I have always said to you, that before you do anything, which I said to your sisters too, I tell you all to breathe in God. And I told you never to forget that, and you haven't. And whatever you do, do it with enthusiasm and inspiration, and you will be unstoppable. You have surpassed and fulfilled your wildest dreams to this point, and there's just so much more to come, and we couldn't be prouder of you tonight, your dad and I, of everything you have given up, everything you've sacrificed, and the love you have given back to all of us. That's so important. You build us up as much as we build you up.
And we love you
so much.
Congrats.
Huge congrats. Doesn't even hit it. Should we say any more? Hold on.
No, I'm good.
I kind of got my last sentence was dumb.
No, it wasn't. It was good.
Dumb.
That's my mom
Don't
right
let
there.
her watch it.
Always think about what you said. That's awesome. When was this taken?
This was yesterday.
This was yesterday?
Yeah.
They didn't even tell me. They snuck out or something. That's so cool. It's really just crazy. Just seeing that too. Just her reading that letter for my 17th birthday. It's really the same message, still really holds true. And that's, just continue to stay on my path and have all these new revelations, but continuing to breathe in God. So, I mean, that whole message was, it was amazing.
Your family means a lot to you.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, John, can you unmute?
Yeah, Aidan, this is Michael here at DetroitLions.com. What's it like to be drafted by your hometown team? And when did you really realize this could be a legitimate reality?
Yeah, it feels great. It feels great to be home once again. I picked Michigan when I was in high school, and just to have the opportunity to play at home in front of a lot of the same fans. I mean, I'm so grateful, and I can't tell you how excited I am.
Good. Just a minute. Yes,
What's up, Aidan? How you doing, man? Eric Weir from ESPN.
How you doing?
Congratulations, man. So knowing the history of the organization and knowing the highs and lows and everything, is there any pressure or is it motivation that comes along with this pick? Like, what's your thoughts with you being so close to it and knowing it coming into this situation?
Yeah, I'm just going to continue to do what I do and just give it everything I got. And, I'm going to be happy with the outcome either way. So don't feel a whole lot of pressure. I think it's great coming back home, get to stay close to family, makes the transition easier. It's going to be a very good time.
Gina Trotman from WXYZ. You were jacked up when you got on that stage and had your jersey in your hand. If you could maybe translate that emotion, what is your message to fans and to the city of Detroit?
To the city, just know I'm going to give it my all. And, it was such an honor to be on that stage and to be picked by the Lions. It was the Lions all the way, through the whole draft process. I wanted them to pick me. And, I'm so grateful that I went number 2 to them. It was so good. And definitely, I'm still trying to process it a little bit. It happened a couple minutes ago, but, I'm so grateful for sure.
Aidan, congratulations. Tim Twentyman with DetroitLions.com. Just through your conversations with Brad and Dan, just why was this such a great fit in your opinion? And why do you think you fit so great into this defense that Aaron Glenn's building here in Detroit?
Yeah, all the coaches, I mean, we were firing on all cylinders when I had my visit. So, I'm really excited to get working with this coaching staff.
Hey, this is Corey Woods, Woodward Sports. How you doing? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Last year, they drafted Penei Sewell, and he's a big piece of their offensive line. How do you feel now that you're going to be coming in? You're going to be the anchor, one of the biggest pieces of their defensive line and what you're going to bring to the city.
Again, I'm just going to continue to do everything I can. Penei is a hell of a player, so I'm sure, we'll be getting after it in practice, and, just iron sharpens iron. So we're going to be getting better every day. So, it's going to be great once I get there.
Aidan, Larry Leach from the Associated Press. Can you share your emotions when you hugged your parents and sister when you were drafted, and what was your mom's reaction to the necklace and dog tag you gave her today?
Oh, she was getting emotional earlier today when I gave her the dog tag. So it's cool to have that moment shared with her. But yeah, even with my whole family being there, I mean, it was so emotional before the draft even started, just sitting there, soaking it all in, being, where we were. It's almost surreal when you think about it for so long, and then you're actually in that position. So definitely so good having them there. And I wouldn't want any other family, with me. They're really the best.
Aidan, Justin Rogers from the Detroit News. 2 parts. Did you get a chance in your brief call with Mrs. Ford to get on the Bronco wait list? And then 2, I just wanted to go back to the Dan Campbell thing a little bit. Seems like players, college prospects really seem to mesh with him and his attitude and style. I'm just wondering your impressions of him throughout the process and how you feel like the personalities will mesh yours and his.
So 1, I'm already on the wait list. So, we're definitely going to get these moving parts going. And then 2, let me see, it was about Coach Campbell. Yeah. He's just one of those guys that you want to play for. And just by the way he composes himself and he does his business, like he's just one of those guys that you want to buy into, because you can tell how passionate he is about the game. So, I didn't even have to meet him, just seeing him in interviews and seeing, how he even interacted with reporters and how he felt about his team. It just felt so genuine. And that's really what I appreciate the most.
Let's do 2 more questions.
Hey, Aidan, Chris Burke from The Athletic. Congratulations. You said it was the Lions the whole way for you. This is what you wanted. From the outside looking in, this was about as uncertain a draft as we've seen in a while. So did you know tonight? At what point did you know that this was going to be the pick?
Yeah, I was talking to my agent. He told me yesterday that it's about 90% that I don't go to Jacksonville. So but then, it's just, I don't even know how this all happened. It felt like things started changing a couple of days ago, but I'm grateful to be where I'm at.
Last question.
Last one, guys.
Hey, Aidan, Bob Winowski from the Detroit News. You talked back at Michigan about changing the culture there and wanting to stay and finally beat Ohio State and win the championship. There's a culture that maybe needs to be or is being changed here in Detroit with the Lions. Do you see that connection with you?
Yeah, I'm just going to come in and just be me. Obviously I'm going to stay quiet. I'm a rookie. I'm young. I'm just going to go put my nose to the grindstone and really just get after it and, not say a whole bunch, but not say a whole bunch, but just earn the respect of others before I ever think to step up. But I'm just going to go there and do my thing and do what I've always done.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Aidan.
Guys, it is Aidan Hutchinson here. Man, I am so excited to get started with the Lions. I'm fired up. We got the best fan base in the world, and I'm excited to get going. Go Lions and defend the den, baby.
Minnesota Vikings have traded the 12th pick to the Detroit Lions. With the 12th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Jameson Williams. Whoa! Wide receiver.
How you doing, man? It's Brad Holmes, GM of Detroit Lions. Hey, man, you ready to be a Lion? All right, well, we trade up in the spot. We're about to pick you right here, man. Hey, come in here, get healthy, take the top off, and be the dog that you are, man. All right? Congratulations, man. All right, man, let me get you on the phone with our head coach, Dan Campbell.
J-Dub, congratulations, man. Let me tell you something. You know why we love you? Because you're a football player. We love football players, man. You eat it and you sleep it. So, hey, congratulations, all right? Listen, I'm going to pass you to Sheila, okay?
Hey, Jameson, congratulations. This is awesome. There's a lot of excitement around here. So we're thrilled. Can't wait for you to get here and get healthy and, you know, rip it up for us. All right. Okay, great.
Meanwhile,
they're spoiled it. So, oh God, they get Olave. The Lions have traded though. What? So now the number 12 is the Lions. We got a trade alert again. The Lions. Oh my God! If the Lions get Jameson Williams, if they get Jameson Williams, I'm gonna lose my mind. I will lose my mind if they get Jameson Williams. I am going to throw something. The Lions are on the clock. You already got Hutchinson. Chris Olave. All right, so they get him. They get Chris Olave. And now the Lions. The frickin' Lions. All right, Detroit sent the number 32, 34, and 66 to the Vikings. Wait a minute. So now the Vikings aren't picking until 32? Oh, look, it's 5.
Dude.
What?
Just got screwed.
Dude, the Lions. Now, hold on. The pick is officially in. Oh, God, please no. Please no.
And the rumor is that they're not taking Willis here. Like, it's...
It would make no sense for that. I mean, unless they're trying to cut in front of Pittsburgh. Like, that's the only reason I could think. By the way, congrats on a phenomenal draft. Look at you guys being competent.
They're saying it's Williams. They're saying it's Williams.
Oh, my God, no. You son of a bitch. They're taking Jameson Williams.
This is going to be terrible for you. You're having a bad night, buddy. You're having a bad
I just want a good draft, 5!
I'm having a great night.
Fine, I'll call you back.
All right. I'll call you back.
There's another trade? The Eagles have traded up! What is going on? I'm still waiting for the freaking bracket! The pick is in. What is happening? It's a free agency all over again. Let's see. Please no. Please not Jameson Williams. No! 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 They got Jameson Williams! Oh my God, no! No! The Lions have betrayed me! Oh my God, no! No, 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 no! No! All the wide receivers are going! The receivers are gone! No! I wanted Jameson Williams so bad! And the Lions, they get Hutchinson and Williams! It's not fair! This is the Vikings! This is the Vikings! You purple incarnation of Satan bastards!
I know, right? Yeah, hit me on the ground. We're gonna walk in. Yeah.
Just give us 1 second, Jameson.
Yeah. Tim, go ahead and start us off.
Hey, Jameson, how you doing? Tim Twentyman here from DetroitLions.com. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I just got two for you real quick. If you could just give us an update on kind of where the knee is at this point in the recovery process, and then two, how much conversation did you have with Detroit in the pre-draft process, and just how do you envision yourself really fitting into this offense?
The timetable, I really don't have one. I'm pushing for being ready for training camp, and I forget the second question. Could you repeat that?
Yeah, just how much conversation did you have with the Lions in the pre-draft process, and just how do you envision yourself fitting into this offense?
I really didn't have much with the Lions, honestly, but I see myself being a big part of this offense. Obviously, they took the chance on me. They had the faith that we could do big things, and I'm just here to show my playmaking ability. We could change things around for sure.
What's up, Jameson? How you doing, man? Eric, where you are from ESPN?
I'm good.
For the Lions to be aggressive, to move up like that, what did that show you, though? Like you say, you didn't have much contact with them in the process, but what did that show you about the aggressive and the move up to really pick you at that spot?
It just showed me that really that I was a wanted player. I'm a wanted player on the roster. And I had the chance to make a big impact. So really, those two things I would say.
Anybody else?
What does it mean to you to get picked up by Detroit? Like you said, may have been a little bit of surprise that you didn't have a lot of contact with them, but what does it mean to you to have a team like Detroit take a chance on you?
It means a lot. At the end of the day, it's the NFL draft. Something I've been thinking about and dreaming about since 6 years old. It's just a blessing, man. I'm just excited to be here and excited to be able to be picked by the Detroit Lions.
Hey, Jameson, Corey Woods, Wilbur Sports, congratulations. Just before the Lions, took you, how much familiarity did you have about the franchise and what they're in the rebuild that they're going through?
I've had some, but not a lot. I've watched a couple games here and there, but it's just been mutual. Hopefully, I can learn more about it and we can turn things around.
Jameson, Bob Winowski from the Detroit News. Did you have any sense of where you might go in this draft with the injury factor? And without the injury, do you think you would have been the top receiver taken?
Yeah, but there's nothing we could do about that now. I'm here in Detroit, 12th pick. I'm happy. Let's do it, really. That's all I got to say.
Jameson, how much are you looking forward to showing off that kind of big playability you showed at Alabama? I think you had 4 touchdowns to 70+ yards, 11 touchdowns to 30+ yards. How much do you think that translates to the NFL? And do you think you can be that kind of big time, deep threat playmaker at the NFL level?
I think it translates. And yeah, I think I could be a big play threat in NFL. End of the day, it's football. It's just how you play it, really.
Anybody else?
We got 2 last questions. Nick Kelly, Tuscaloosa.
Hey, Jimmo, 2 questions for you. One, I mean, obviously your teammates at Ohio State were also drafted tonight too. I mean, did you realize how much talent you guys had back then? And second question, what's the story behind the chain you wore tonight with your draft outfit?
Yeah, we always knew we had the talent. We always competed every day coming in. We always knew just the how we played and how our talents was basically just how good we were. So we competed with each other and got each other better over the years that we were together. And the chain is really just the SG on top of the world. I'm taking over the world pretty soon.
All right, our last question, Ben Frederickson in St. Louis.
James Snake, congrats from St. Louis. I had a chance to go by the Herbert Hoover Boys and Girls Club earlier. There's a big watch party there for you. I guess, did you get any updates from the watch party here in St. Louis? And what's your message to all those folks who are celebrating you there tonight?
I ain't getting no updates. Nah, I haven't checked in with it, but my message was just it's family. So really it was a lot of family down there. It's just a message, send a love message, really. That's all.
Would you will it being the fourth receiver taken be something that you hold on to as motivation?
Of course, but it's something I won't be worried about. Like I said, I'm happy to be here in Detroit, happy to be the 12th pick. It's just something that I can't control. It is what it is. I'm just ready to play ball.
Congrats, man.
Thank
All right. Thanks, Jameson. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
What up, Detroit? It's J-Mo. I'm looking forward to getting down there and getting going, man. We finna have a hell of a time, man. One pride. Let's do it.
Welcome him and everything that he brings. You know, he's so much of a culture fit in terms of what we're about. And then to be able to acquire Jameson as well. So ecstatic. We still got some work to do, but you know, so far so good. Questions?
Brad, you talked about having, you know, a group of 7 or 8 guys in that top that you were comfortable with and had graded similarly. Obviously, there was a few pass rushers in that mix.
Yeah.
What made Aidan stick out for you from that group?
Yeah, well, he checks a lot of boxes that we look for. You know, from an intangible standpoint, you know, he plays with a really high motor. He loves football. He's very passionate about the game. But, you know, the other thing I think gets lost with Aidan is, you know, a lot of people, when you talk about pass rushers, obviously you're talking about sacks. And he had a lot of them, and he was very productive as a rusher last year. But I think what gets lost is how effective he is in the run game. You know, it's a 3-down league, and you know, I think what he does in the run game kind of gets overlooked, but in a good way because of all sacks. But yeah, obviously we had all those guys kind of graded evenly, and he was one of them, and obviously Jameson was one of them as well.
During the season, you were saying that when you were even going to like restaurants and places like that, people was pressuring you for this pick to look at him. Like, obviously he still had a production, but how much of that was just like, did that play into it as well, knowing how the community, how the city would react to it as well?
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, it's always great to get, you know, if you want to call him the hometown favorite, but I know there's a lot of fanfare for Aidan, and his ability to, you know, stay home, you know, and hopefully be, you know, not only a productive player for our football team, but I know that he'll make his mark in this community. He already has, so it's gonna continue to trend up, you know, from here. But congrats to Aidan. I'm happy for him. We're thrilled about what he's going to bring to our organization, and but you hit it, you know, it's going to be big in the community for him.
Was it in your mind to move up for him, and then just thoughts on where he is in the progression off the knee injury?
Yeah, you know, I never really thought of moving up, really. You know, that just never. I thought about it, passed by me, but you know, we were kind of good, you know, sitting at 2, being where we're at. Obviously, had no idea if Aidan was going to be there or not, but you know, you know, sometimes it falls like, you know, how you think, but you know, it's unpredictable. And as you guys know, just as us, you know, it was a very unpredictable, you know, first half of the draft. You know, it was a very unique year, but obviously thrilled that he was there available to us, and couldn't be happier.
Thinking about moving up for Jameson.
Oh, for Jameson.
Yeah.
I thought I heard you say Aidan.
Yeah, I may have. It's like-
Okay, all right, yeah. No, you know that's a very that's a very you know that's a very fair question, because you know I wouldn't say it was a little bit later on in the process. You know, it was a while that, you know, with Jameson, kind of seeing the more and more conviction that we had on him, the more and more buy-in that we had on him, and then everything that he brings, you know, obviously we all know he's explosive, he can take the top off, speed, all that kind of stuff. But, you know, I think what gets overlooked, just like I was saying about Aidan with the run game stuff, I think what gets overlooked about Jameson is usually guys that are that explosive, that fast, that electrifying. This guy's tough. This guy's gritty. He's a dog. He loves football, and so he just fit what we're about. So once the conviction and the buy-in just kept rising, you know, then I started saying, okay, all right, well maybe, you know, being that he is one of those guys that we have graded similarly, and very evenly up at the top, let's just go ahead and get him. I told you guys I wanted to get game changers. We do think that Jameson has those abilities in him to be a game changer. He can flip the field, all that, but we have to do our part and make sure that he's set up for success. We need to develop him. He still's got to get healthy. But we do think that we have the right resource and structure in place for him.
When did you start making calls on that trade, and how far down did you have to go to find him?
Yeah, well, actually, started before. You know, it actually started before tonight. Again, you never know if a trade can be pulled off or not, because, you know, when you're working with you're trying to find a trade partner, you know, it's often contingent about, you know, look, we're seeing if this guy, especially when you're trading up that high. So, you know, it just happened to align and it worked out. But I do think it was a win-win for both. Yeah, you know, that's a good question. I think you have to look at the magnitude of the grade and the upside and the effectiveness that we think, and the potential that we think that player can bring. So, you know, if you have, you know, a player that's, you know, at an elite, you know, skill set, and you're not sure if you're going to get that kind of skill set, you know, back where you're at, then that's when you start making plans. And I've always told you guys, you know, if we have the conviction, we have the buy-in, you know, that we'll be aggressive and go get that player. So that's what we did. I already said there's not a lot of them, but, you know, fortunately Jameson was one of them.
Be a year. What do you think is the timetable here?
Yeah, I don't want to speak on it and say, you know, you guys come whatever month that I say, you know, come back, hey, Brad, I thought you said but I will say this, with all the medical reports that we have, all the information they have from a medical standpoint, we feel very good with where we expect him to be able to return. Obviously, you know, there's football shape and all that stuff that he's going to need to go into. We take all of that into account. But I don't want to make a specific statement on a timetable right now in this setting. But we've had internal discussion. We feel good when we feel like he can return.
Determined were you to get one of the big play receivers in the first round, and when that run kind of started, you know, midway or early in that first round, was that when you felt you had to leave?
Yeah, trying to predict, again, it was a very unpredictable first half, but this was a talented group of receivers in this draft. I mean, it was a great group, and the more we looked at it, the more it was like, well, you know, there's so many teams with multiple first-round picks. There's teams that might be in that wide receiver market. You know, you just never know. There's 31 other boards that you have no idea, and you're just trying to gather almost as much information as you can. But you know, I was thinking that if we made the jump and got Jameson, you know, looking back at it now, I thought that if we weren't able to work out a trade to get Jameson, that, you know, we could work with some other teams, you know, to maybe do a trade and get some of the other guys. Well, those guys flew off the board too. So, but yeah, I mean, you know, it was a talented class. We figured that it would be a lot of them go. You know, we didn't know if it was going to be 6, you know, maybe 7. You know, we weren't sure, but that's kind of what we anticipated.
A couple of questions about just the speed. Obviously, you didn't get to run a 40, but we know you guys use GPS speed. I'm just curious, like, how it stacked up to maybe the rest of this class or maybe the last couple of years. And then I think maybe the premier speed guy in this league, receiver-wise, Tyreek Hill. I'm just wondering, when you see what he's done in this league, is that kind of what you, I guess, envision as a plan of maybe how Jameson can be utilized in your own offense?
Yeah, obviously Tyreek Hill's about, you know, is about dynamic as it gets. I think Jameson is going to carve out his own role and be his own player. In terms of the speed question, he was the best. He was the number one, you know, from the information that we have amongst all the receivers. That's pretty evident. But, you know, when you start looking at amongst the draft, he was the fastest. So we felt really, really good about got rare speed. No comment.
Now, I feel like the first round's over and everything, but was there any serious consideration of getting a quarterback? I mean, that was a big thing going into the draft, but can you tell us that now? Was there any serious consideration?
Well, the draft's not over with yet, so. You know, we kind of, when we saw how it was unfolding and we saw that we had a chance to possibly acquire Jameson, then, you know, we were pretty set on going up and getting him. And again, it's not just, it wasn't going up to get a wide receiver, it was going up to get him. So, you know, that's not saying anything about, you know, the quarterbacks or anything like that, but it was just the fact that Jameson was available. That's felt good about going up to get.
One more, guys? As you, I guess, maybe stack the board again tonight, were you looking at all at potentially even trading back into the first round? I know the Jets were a team that did that. Was that something you explored at all? Is there, you know, some guys at the very top of this group still left that might fit that description of go get 'em type players?
If we stayed, phrase that question again.
Just with the guys that are left currently on
Right,
the board,
sure.
Do you see a go get 'em type player where you're maybe interested in looking to move up, or even looking up
Higher in the second round?
Yeah, or possibly
yeah.
even at the end of the first year, were you in the market there to possibly go get a guy?
Yeah, you know, after we made the trade, and you know, again, that kind of plays a little bit in terms of, you know, the conviction you have to go trade up. It's, you know, you just look at the caliber of player. Now, obviously, you got to sacrifice as well, so you got to be at peace with that as well. But no, we were happy with the trade and the compensation and where we're at now. You know, whatever happens tomorrow, you know, so that can go either way. But we'll just wait and see. Draft's not over with yet. There's still some good players out there that'll be available to us. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.